I'm gonna be switching back and forth between the band and the dumbbells. That's just gonna be a preference thing for me, and you can use one or the other or both if you have them close by. So let's get started. We're gonna go straight away into a plank. So come down onto your hands and your knees. We're gonna have starfish hands. That's gonna help us connect to the inner line of the body, the chest, and off to the back line. So we have starfish hands, shoulder width distance. With control, step 1 foot back at a time into your best plank orientation. Remember, we don't want to have our hips lifted up, and we also don't want to allow our hips to hang down. You want to find that beautiful diagonal line from head to heels. While you're there working, stay in that plank. It's an isometric hold to start with today. Think about your heart lifting between the shoulder blades. Find that connection to the middle back, to the back line of the body. Every inhale broadens the collarbone and lifts you off of the elbows. The last thing I'm going to ask you to focus on is thinking about the upper arms spiraling forward a little bit. So very similar to how I ask you to spiral the inner thighs forward, think about the upper arms spiraling ever so slightly, and that's going to connect you to the back body and open the collarbones. Let's go for 6. Here we go for 5. Find that breath, find that focus. Inner arms are spiraling just a tiny bit forward, and go ahead and bring the knees to the floor. All right, you can grab your dumbbells or you can grab a band. If you've chosen a band, you're gonna put it in front, or underneath rather, your right foot, and then have one stretch in either hand. We're gonna go into a little single leg chest expansion. So we're gonna reach the arms long, we're gonna broaden the collarbones, and then we're gonna lengthen back. So you wanna keep that belt line level. We're inhaling as we reach back, exhale as we bring it forward. If you're looking for extra challenge while we're doing this, you can flip your back toes under, hover the back knee off of the floor, and do the same range of movement with that knee elevated. If you tried that and it's not for you today, bring your knee right back down. Either way works. So we're finding that connection to the middle line of the body. We're thinking about the belt line staying level, and the middle back staying active. Let's go for 3 more here. We're gonna change it up. This is 2. Find that length. Hold it back. Everyone in the room, try to float the leg up and set it back down with a brief little tap. Upper inner thighs are narrowing to lift, and bring it back down. 2 more like that, guys. You got it. Upper inner thighs narrow and bring it back down. This is our last one. With control, we're gonna lift it up, bring it back down, and bring your right knee to the floor. So if you have your band, it's gonna go behind your body. If you have your dumbbells, they're gonna stay in your hands. Knees are 4 inches apart, parallel. And we're gonna go into a tricep focused hip tap. So here we go. We're gonna exhale as we lower down. Think about the arms reaching long like matchsticks. And then we're gonna inhale as we gather and rise up. Exhale, reaching long and low. Inhale as we narrow and rise. Keep working, guys. So I know the arms are very active, but I want to make sure we're not taking away the work from the back line of the body and loading into the quads. So we want to visualize the sitting bones broadening on the way down, and then your core is lifting you by narrowing the sitting bones as you inhale and rise. So as you're working, we're exhaling, sitting bones are broadening. Inhaling, narrowing together and lift. 2 more like that. Exhale as you lower down, paying attention to your body. If it doesn't feel great to get your hips all the way down, don't go all the way down. You can go about halfway. In fact, I'm going to ask everyone to hold halfway. So you're hovered halfway between the hips and the heels. Now we're going to bring the palms inbound. Exhale as the arms bend forward. Inhale as you reach and extend behind you. As the arms bend, think about the elbows chasing away from the shoulders. Inhale, think about the biceps elongating. Exhale, triceps elongate. Elbows reach away from the shoulders, collarbones are wide. Inhale as we bring it long. Let's go for 2 more here. And we have one last little challenge in this sequence. Inhale for length, keep the collarbones wide, keep the navel drawn up and in between the shoulder blades. Hold the arms long behind you, hold the arms long, and we're gonna do a little lift, just a small reach. Think more about length than about height. So it's not about tapping the ceiling, it's about reaching through the baseboard behind you. Let's go for 3 more here. This is 2. And this gonna be the last one. With control, go ahead and bring it up. All right, guys, we're gonna set down the dumbbells just for a moment. We're gonna go into a roll-up. You can use the band that's gonna assist you with the core effort and help you find connection to the middle back, or you can skip it. I'm gonna skip it. So you choose. If you have the band, it goes under the feet, one stretch in each hand. Arms come wide to the sides. Lengthen with a flat back. My feet are in a closed parallel position. And then we're gonna glide the tailbone under. And then we're gonna unwind. I want you to just find that mobility through the sacrum and through the low back. So you might not even really be able to see it super clearly, but what I'm doing is I'm turning the gear wheel of the pelvis under, and it's toning and activating the deep abdominals. And then unwind. Here we go. Roll the tailbone under you. Now we're gonna allow the low back to reach to the mat. Lengthen the head away from your pelvis as you're lowering all the way down. We're gonna inhale, float just your hair off the mat, all the way up to the tips of the shoulder blades. Then we're gonna exhale as we continue deeply curling the spine to slowly pick it all the way up and sit nice and tall at the top. Lean with a flat back, deep abdominals come up and under the ribs. Draw the tailbone under. Now the low back begins to articulate. We're going into the gear wheels through the middle back, through the upper back, through the shoulder girdle, through the neck, and finally the gear wheels on the ears. Lengthen and lift first. That's an inhale, all the way to the tips of the shoulder blades. Exhale. Then we're going into deep flexion as we slowly rise. It's okay if the feet pop up a little bit. No big deal. We're gonna hold the next one about halfway down. Why? Because it's Friday and we can. We're gonna hold it halfway down. All right, the intention is not gonna be up, my friends. The intention is gonna be down and back. Here we go. So we're gonna lengthen down and back and then return to where we started. We're gonna lengthen down and back and then return. So it's a reach. Think about that hammock again. It's not just a down, up, down, up. It's a reach, adding length and space between the vertebrae. With our breath, we're inhaling to lengthen. Exhale as we bring it up. Let's go for 4 more here. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, bring it up. I'm dying with you. We're in it together. We're in it together. Inhale as you reach. We have 2 more. Inhale as we lengthen. I'm magnetizing the outer thighs to help find the low belly. And good news, we're gonna go up, not down, all the way back up to the top. All right, let's get that chest expansion handled on the other side. So I'm gonna show you with the band this time. You choose if you have the band or the dumbbells, all right? We're gonna be on our knees. If you've chosen the band, it goes under the ball of the left foot, or you can use your dumbbells. Same thing happens here. We're gonna take our arms long, whoa, collarbones wide, belt line is level, and then we're gonna inhale as the arms lengthen back, exhale as we bring it in. Keeping the heart right over, or the sternum rather, right over the pubic bone, keeping the heart lifted, keeping your head in line with the spine. If you're looking for additional challenge, you can pick the back knee up off of the mat and continue working, same range of movement. Inhale as we broaden the collarbones, lengthening back. We're gonna go for 2 more here. You can have your knee up or down. Hold the last one, stay there, hold the last one. And now everyone in the room is gonna try that little tiny lift and lower. Really think about the upper inner thighs doing that lift rather than your foot pushing from the ground. It's your core lifting you. You have 2 more, you got this, guys. Upper inner thighs are narrowing and lifting. Exhale as you tap down. Inhale, narrow and lift. Tap down and bring both knees to the floor. Excellent. All right, if you have a band, we're gonna use it to help us find the back line. If you don't, I just want you to imagine you have one because your mind is a powerful thing and it can help you feel what we're feeling with the actual band. So we're gonna go into a TA hover tap. That stands for transverse abdominis, our deepest layer of abdominals. From here, guys, we're going to have our knees 4 inches apart parallel, feet are flat on the ground. That's not accessible to you, you can always flip the toes under. So we're gonna keep the feet flat on the ground, broaden the collarbones, and just give a very shallow curl to the spine, looking back between the knees. From there, I want you to visualize a hammock under your ribs to hover the knees off of the floor on an inhale. Hold and breathe. We're holding and breathing. On your next exhale, we're gonna tap the kneecaps to the floor. On the inhale, we're gonna hover them up again. On the exhale, we're gonna tap down. On the inhale, visualize that burlap sack lifting you rather than your hands or your knees pushing you, okay? So it's an exhale to tap and an inhale to lengthen and lift. We're gonna go for 3 more and then we're gonna change it up. Exhale as we set it down. Inhale as you lengthen and lift. Really find that deep abdominal connection. This is gonna be our last one, guys. Inhale as we hold for 5. Think about the upper inner arms spiraling forward for 3, for 2, and gently set it back down. All right, so again, you can use a band or a dumbbell. We're gonna go into an overhead tricep reach with a leg extension. I'm gonna show you with the band first, and that is how you can get it done, or with one dumbbell in your left hand, okay? So if you have a band, your right hand is gonna hold it on the ground. That's your touch point for resistance. You're going to have your right knee and shin on the ground, and you're going to bend your left leg like so. The left arm comes up and overhead, palm faces forward. This is gonna help you connect to the middle back and protect the shoulder. Head is in line with the spine. Start with the arm first. We're gonna inhale as we extend. Exhale as you bring it in. If you don't have a band, just use a dumbbell and don't worry about the band under the hand on the floor. Extra challenge, additional balance challenge, and additional cardio challenge. We're gonna inhale and extend the left leg as well. That's not required, so that's taking it up a notch. Think about that inner arm on the right arm spiraling forward a little bit to plug you into the middle back. Keep working. I'm gonna demonstrate with the dumbbell now. It would look like this. We're gonna inhale and extend, and we don't have that red band, and that's fine. If you don't have either, just do it with an empty hand. Inhaling as we extend. Let's hold this next one out. Hold. Now we're gonna rotate the pelvis and the ribs toward the floor. This is an inhale. Exhale, think about the base of the ribs and the pelvis returning you to start. We're gonna inhale as we rotate. And then we're gonna exhale as we unwind back to start. We're doing 5 of these total. We've done 2. Now we're gonna inhale as we rotate and find that length and reach. Plug the arm down into the middle back. Exhale as you unwind. Lengthen and reach the whole time, keeping the head in line with the spine. This is gonna be our last one. Inhale as you rotate. Exhale, bring it back in. And go ahead and bring your hip down to the floor. All right, guys, while we're here, we're gonna go into a mermaid leg sweep. So we're gonna sit on our right hip. I'm gonna move my dumbbells out of the way. And we're going to anchor down on the right hip. And we want you to feel the really sincere core effort here in addition to the hip focus. So here we go. We are going to bring the left leg up off the floor. So my toes, shin, knee are up off the floor. See how far I leaned? You're going to lean, but see if you can get your body a little more centered, and then you'll feel a lot of core effort. Hold that as centered as you can. Bottom leg is imprinting into the floor. Now visualize this thigh bone. It is turning through the dome of the pelvis, and now my left sitting bone anchors to the floor, but my left foot is still up, okay? That's gonna be an inhale. We're gonna exhale as we come back to start. Try not to touch the ground at any time if you can. And then we're gonna inhale as we bring it forward. Keep working. If that feels really uncomfortable on your hips, you can stack a few books up or pop a yoga block under your bottom hip, and that's just gonna help to elevate you off the floor and give you a little less of an ask for that sitting hip, and gives you even more room for the gesture leg, the leg that is moving. Okay, so you choose. If you are propping yourself up a little bit, we call it bringing the floor to the client, and we want to support you in your movement. Here we go. We're going to hold that left leg back, holding it back. So I'm hovered up off of the floor. Let's bring the arms up and out. Dumbbells are always your option if you want them. And we're going to flex the left foot. So that means I reached the heel long, and I creased at the front side of the ankle, and now I'm going to send it back from the gland line, right under the seat. Check in with your torso. Are you about to touch the ground? You want to keep yourself as upright as possible to find that core connection while we're working. Let's go for 4. This is 3. Really move, because that femur head is tipping in and sending the leg back. This is going to be our last one. Hold and breathe. Get your torso more upright. Plug the arms down into the middle back for 2. And bring it all the way in. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go into an upper body jump. And And I would suggest the red band. If you feel pretty tough today, you can go ahead and grab your dumbbells, or you can always do this with empty hands. We're gonna do this with a diagonal reach and rotation. So start with your knees 4 inches apart parallel. If it's accessible, you're gonna get your hips down to your heels, but it's not required. You can come about halfway as well. From here, guys, let's go ahead and exhale to prepare, keeping our collarbones wide. Inhale, we're gonna rise up. Don't worry about diagonals yet. We're just finding that lift, open the front side of the hips. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale as you bring it up. So again, don't worry about the hips touching the heels if that's not for your body today. On this next one, we're gonna layer on the diagonals. Here we go. Exhale as you lower down. We're gonna inhale, rotate, right arm down, left arm up. Exhale as you bring it down. Inhale as we rise and rotate. Exhale as you bring it down. So as you lift, find that length, find that reach, and we're accessing the diagonal sling. So we're stabilizing the waistline as we go into a diagonal muscle pattern in the body. So we're inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Inhaling to raise, exhale to lower. I'm gonna show you a few with dumbbells. Keep working, and I'm only gonna do a few. So as we come up, we're gonna inhale as we glide open, exhale as we bring it down. So it's entirely up to you if you have empty hands, if you have a resistance band, or if you have dumbbells. All of it will work and focus on the same effort and part of the body as we're doing with or without the props, okay? Let's go for 2 more either side. Exhaling down. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhale down. This is the last time with the left arm up. Exhale as we lower. Inhale as we bring it up. Exhale down. And go ahead and rise up. All right. Grab 1 dumbbell or keep an empty hand. We're not going to use the band if that's what you have today. An empty hand will work just fine. We're going to go into a little bird dog position. So starting in a 4-point kneel, I have the dumbbell in my right hand. Knees are 4 inches apart parallel. Okay, first thing that's gonna happen is we're gonna graze the left toes on the mat, reaching the leg all the way long. My leg is still down, my toes are still touching until the leg is fully extended and I can feel that inner thigh and glam line. I'm shaking already, guys. Now, I'm going to ask the leg to lift from the glam line, from right behind the seat. And as I lift, I'm gonna think about length rather than hitting an exact shape. Okay, so now just the left leg is up. I'd like all of you to bring your left leg 1/2 inch closer to the seam of your pants. My leg is about to shake off of my body, so please, please tell me someone out there is right there with me. Okay, once you have that connection of the deep abdominals working with that inner thigh to hold the leg in space, I'm gonna invite you to take the right arm long in front of you. So now you're on a 2-point kneel, and the right arm is out in front of you. You can also do it with an empty hand. It would look just like this. From here, guys, we're gonna exhale as we flex the spine, draw the right elbow and the left knee in. So that's an exhale. And then we're gonna inhale as we reach for that length, and you should find that shake every single time. Exhale, nod the chin, lift from under the ribs, find that length in the spine as you work. And then we're gonna inhale as we extend. Let's go for a few more here. If you're looking for additional challenge, you can always try the right knee hovered. So you would do the same thing, and you might try the right knee hovered and draw it in. So additional challenge might not be the right word, kind of a different variation if it feels better in your body to have 2 hands down rather than 1 hand up. So that's a great option to accommodate any issues that might be happening in your body. And let's go for 1 more here, exhaling as we bring it in. Inhale as we extend, and go ahead and float both sides down. All right, I'm gonna have us go into a quick set of swimming. We haven't done this in a while, so let's make sure we're finding the deep abdominal connection and length in the low back. Today I'm gonna ask us to do it in a little bit of upper back extension. It's gonna counterbalance all of the forward folding we do in life, okay? So start with your hands. Let's do a little box shape today. So I have my hands about shoulder width, laying all the way down on the mat. This is called a prone position. I'm gonna ask you to set your forehead down onto the mat, literally rest your forehead down. And then I'm gonna ask you to, again, think about that hammock. and that length and that reach. Drag your forearms and your elbows towards your pelvis. Send the shoulder blades down and around the ribs, and that is what floats you up into extension. I don't care how high you go. Now straight away, you might be like, oh, that's, not super comfortable in my low back. That means you need to find your pubic bone on the front side of the body, melting into the floor, and the deep abdominals lifting as the tailbone reaches back. So find lots of length in your low back. If that's not still doing the trick for you, keep all that connected and you can lower down a little bit. All right? So once you've found a good spot for your body, keep that pubic bone melting down, keep your tailbone reaching long. Now we're gonna float the right leg up because it reached so long, not because I jammed it up towards the ceiling, and set it back down. And then we're gonna send the left leg long, and we're gonna set it back down. So you're gonna alternate at your own pace. In my own body, I'm bringing my legs in a little bit more towards the center line of my pants because I noticed that I was wider and I wasn't finding the inner thigh. So find that connection, find that length. Keep working in your position on the floor. I want to show you something about the abdominals to help support the low back. We've talked about it before. It's like a 2-lane highway, right? So we've got our psoas, our suspender muscles coming up and overhead, and then we want to send the multifidus and the tailbone melting down. We never want to shorten or put pressure on the low back. We need the abdominals to engage. It's not just about kind of crowding the tailbone down. It's the abdominals engaging. They're going up, and in response, the tailbone goes long. All right, let's do one more on either side. So we have 2 more reps total. We're gonna come into that bird dog again. And go ahead and bring your body down. And we're gonna slowly rise all the way back up into that bird dog position. I'm gonna flip around for demonstration. You can stay where you are. So we're gonna have our hands down on the mat. You can have a dumbbell or not. We're gonna have our knees 4 inches apart, parallel. This time, guys, the right leg reaches so long. So we've just done a few exercises with length. So see if you can find that again. The right leg reaches super duper long. Once you have no more length to give, then you're invited to lift it. Remember that 2-lane highway? Same rule applies here. We never want to allow the abdominals to spill forward and put any compression on the low back. So draw the psoas up, multifidus and tailbone reach down in opposition. If it is accessible to you, we're going to take the left arm out as well. Here we go. Exhale as we round the spine and draw it in, flexing the spine like so. Inhale as we extend and reach. So it's entirely up to you guys if you are using a dumbbell or not. You can see that I often choose not to use one. I really want to have everyone pay attention to their body and see where you find the best challenge. If a single arm and shoulder doesn't feel great in your body, I'm going to offer for you to float the knees up, send the right leg back, and then we're going to flex and bring it in like so. Okay, so pay attention to what works for your body, your shoulders, your arms. You're going to go for 2 more here. Exhaling as we round and lift. Find that length while you're working. Inhale as you extend. Exhale, rounding and lifting. We've got that mermaid sweep coming up. Unwind. Both knees come down. And we're going to come onto our left hip. So if you want those dumbbells for the challenge with arms overhead, just keep them real close by. We're going to sit down on the left hip. If you need to prop yourself up with a pillow or a couple books, that's fine too. Okay, here we go, guys. We're going to lean to hover the right leg up, but now we're going to course correct, and we're going to come upright as much as we can. There will be a lean, but try not to kind of give into it. We don't want it to look like this. So come on up, and from here, we're going to swivel that femur head. It is turning through the dome of the pelvis, lubricating for functionality, and also lifts and tones. And then we're going to exhale as we bring it back. Ideally, we don't touch the floor at any point. If you do, and get back into action. Sitting bone anchors to the ground, and then we're going to exhale as we swivel back and lengthen. As we're working, the temptation can be to allow ourselves to really swing the torso side to side. So see if you can keep your torso pretty stable. It's going to shift, but not allowing a great big weight shift, okay? That's going to help you find better connection through the body. Let's go for 3 more here. Visualize really close to the hip socket. That's where I want your intention to be, and that's how we'll find the core connection as well. And let's go ahead and send that leg back on an exhale. We're going for 2 more here, and then we're gonna go into that little pulse with our arms overhead. Exhale, bring it back. Find that length in your body the whole time. Find that deep connection of the hip to the opposite waistline. Here we go, guys. We're gonna hold this one back. Oh yeah, it's burning, isn't it? Flex that foot, so reach your heel away from the knee, and then we're gonna do a little reach back and bring it in. Extra challenge, arms come up and overhead, plug them into the middle back, and find that reach. Try not to sink into your sitting hip. See if you can lift out of that sitting hip a little bit more, and that's not only going to be a little nicer on that joint, but it's also gonna give you that core effort and challenge. Let's go for 2 more here. We've got our overhead tricep with the dumbbell or band in the right hand coming up. And this is our last one with control. Bring it down. All right, guys, here we go. You're on your left hand, you're on your left knee and shin, and then we're gonna bring the right leg into a folded position on the ball of the foot. So, dumbbell or red band. If you have the red band, it goes under the left hand. Palm stays forward, that helps us plug into the middle back. Bottom ribs lift, head is in line with the spine. Here we go, arm first. Inhale as you extend, shoulder blade nuts down the rib basket. Exhale as you soften and bring it in. Inhale as you extend. Exhale, bring it in. All right, you can go for that balance challenge, that cardio challenge, the reach of the right leg as the right arm extends. Exhale as you bring it in. If it's aggressive on your neck, you can always rotate your head and neck to gaze at the floor. Keep your hips quiet. We're moving the arms and stabilizing the core. We're gonna go for 1 more, then we're gonna add that rotation. Inhale as you extend, hold. Now we're gonna exhale to breathe. Inhale as you rotate for length, the ribs and the pelvis go towards the floor. Exhale, use the base of the ribs and the pelvis to return you to start. Inhale, find that length and that swivel. Exhale, bring it back to center. We're gonna go for 3 more here. Inhale as you rotate. That's getting aggressive on my shoulders, so I'm setting the dumbbell down. Pay attention to your body, gang. Don't just fight through it because you did it on the other side. Pay attention to what's going on inside of your own skin today. And let's go ahead for that last one. With control, we're gonna unwind and bring it all the way down. All right, guys, let's go into a teaser, and we're gonna do this with a scrape the barrel bicep focus as well. So we're going to sit with our knees bent a lot. You can use a resistance band or dumbbells. In fact, I'm gonna choose 1 dumbbell. You can choose 1 in each hand. I'm gonna choose 1 today for my own body. We're gonna sit nice and tall with a flat back. Elbows are bent a lot and creating a circle shape, okay? Now I'm gonna lean with a flat back just like we did in the roll down. Gonna glide the tailbone under, find that deep abdominal connection. That's gonna help you skip the hip pinch on the front side of the body when we float the legs up. Now I'm gonna ask you to float the right leg up into teaser position, and now the left leg. So we're holding the teaser position, the femur heads are sinking deeply into the pelvis, and now we're gonna scrape that barrel. So now I'm circling through the arms and going through the space between the thighs and the abdomen. If that's not feeling great to your body, you can always do 1 leg at a time, like so, and alternate maybe every 2 circles. You can always do a hold and a curl like this, and that's still gonna give you a nice abdominal focus with a little less pressure through the hips. You can sit up taller. Find what works for your body, where you're finding deep abdominal challenge and you're connected to the middle back, shoulders, arms, and biceps. And let's change direction of the circle. So you have 2 feet up, 1 foot up, or both feet down, you choose. And let's go for 3. We're gonna go into a bicep focus. In 2, hold, I'm gonna return to a teaser. You're still choosing, right? Now we're gonna send the shoulder blades down to send the resistance up. And bring it back, straight up. It's not very far. It's all about the shoulder blades melting down in order to send the hands up. Find that length in the front body. I like to think about my bottom ribs going up and out the back body. Let's go for 2 more. This is gonna be our last one. With control, bring the feet down and go ahead and set your band or dumbbell to the side. All right, now we're going to go into a plank pike, push-up combination, all right? So this is gonna be our last little sequence today, and then we stretch, guys, we've made it. So we're going to come onto our hands, starting to plank, just like we began class. Starfish palms, step 1 foot back at a time, start in your best plank. Now, I'm not asking you to just hinge at the shoulders. I'm asking for you to crease at the hips. Notice that my hips moved first. And then we're gonna lengthen the upper body back. So we're stretching as we're finding a deep abdominal challenge. Give it a baby bend to the knees. You should feel a good shake. Legs go long. Come back out into your plank with control and do a push-up. I don't care how low you go. Inhale, bring it up. Pelvis goes back first. Really find the deep abdominal challenge here. Hold the top of your pike. Bend the knees without dropping the hips at all. That should be very shaky. Legs go long. Inhale as we go into that plank. Exhale as we soften the elbows. Inhale as we bring it long. Exhaling as we crease back. Soften the knees on that same exhale. Inhale as you return to your plank. So we're going through long breaths here with intention. We exhale down for the push-up. Inhale as we lengthen up and back. Holding at the top here. Exhale, knees soften. Unfold. Inhale back to that plank. This is our last one. Make it count. Hold the push-up halfway down. Hold and breathe for 6, for 5, for 4, 3, 2, with intention. Arms go long. With intention, pelvis reaches back. Hold and breathe here. 1 time only, bend the knees as we keep the hips high. You're looking back at your toes. Keep your spine connected. And let's go ahead and bring the knees down to the mat. I'm gonna ask you to slide your left arm under your right. So we're opening through the shoulder, opening through the waistline. If you can get your head to the floor, that's great, not required. Just take a nice deep breath here. And go ahead and unwind. Let's take the other side. So we're gonna center it out. And we're gonna take the right arm under the left. If you can get your shoulder and your head down, great. If it doesn't go all the way, that's fine too. Stretching through the side body, stretching through the hips, stretching through the arms. And go ahead and come up. We're gonna rise onto our feet and go into a little wrist stretch, and that'll do it for us today. Okay guys, so we're gonna bring our feet 4 inches apart parallel. We're gonna flex our arms and flex our wrists strong at our sides. Now we're gonna send the arms outbound as if we could reach through the walls of the room we're in. As we bring the arms up, melt the shoulder blades down. That's really important. We're gonna take the right hand on top of the left. It gets a little spicy up there. I know it does for me too. Go ahead and take a breath here. Flex the wrists a lot. We're gonna reach through the sides of the room. Really find that reach, 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 reach. Bring it all the way down. We're staying flexed. We're gonna extend the arms again with intention. Navel draws up and in. Don't let the abs kick out. Bringing the arms up and overhead. This time the left hand goes over the right, shoulder blades melting down. And reach the arms nice and long. We're gonna bring it down to our sides as we draw our navel up and in. And then you're gonna hold that posture until I see you next time. Beautiful job, you guys.